I knew people had a hole for food because I'd seen the hole in movies and on TV, but I didn't know that the hole led anywhere. So when I finally heard about stomachs, it completely blew my mind.
In medical school, I took a class called The Mystery of the Hole, which taught what happens to food when it goes inside your face. At the time, doctors believed that when people put food inside their head, it vanished forever. We didn't know about the bag.
In 30 years of working as a surgeon, I had never even dreamed of the stomach. To think that nestled behind the muscles and the blood, there could be a backpack of food.
One day in my private practice, a patient came in complaining that she was blasted full of food. It seemed unlikely because where would the food go? In the hole?
When I was a child, my brother called me into his room and said, "Brother, I have a sack of guts and food in my body, and it's called a stomach." This was tremendous news, and I was so proud of him. That's when I knew I wanted to become a doctor.
For years, every time I performed abdominal surgery, there was always this annoying bag full of wet food in the way. I would angrily shout at the other doctors and nurses, "Who shoved this food in my patient?"
So one day, I show up to class and the door's locked. Nobody's inside. A notice taped to the door that says, "Mystery of the Hole is canceled," because doctors now know about stomachs.
I asked my brother, "Do I have a stomach also?" He looked at me sadly and said, "Not yet, but with practice, anything is possible." I knew it would be a long road.
And eventually, I realized that this bag of food in my patients was actually part of the body because it was connected to the heart and lungs and the bones. It was supposed to be there.
I grabbed the edge of the woman's stomach and it came out of her mouth. There it was, flopping around on the floor of my office. So I emptied out the food into the trash and she was cured.
Yes, I would say that knowing about the stomach makes me a better doctor. Absolutely.
Every time I meet a new patient, I always tell them they have a stomach. It makes them very happy.
I still don't have a stomach, so I keep my food in my pocket.
Being a doctor has its ups and downs, but whether your patient lives or dies, it's always fun to touch a stomach.